So, after equanimity, we get to liberation.
Yeah.
Getting close to the end. we're finally, we're getting there, getting somewhere.
We're right approaching the top of the ladder now.
That's it. So liberation.
So liberation. So equanimity. Being reconciled with things as they are. Yeah, no longer being disgusted by that, no longer being overwhelmed by it. There it is. And we kind of line up with reality at this point, you know, if we can get to this stage. If we're totally reconciled with the way things are, then we just merge with that. We just become ourselves a part of that reality. And that's one way maybe of thinking about what happens with liberation, awakening, you know,
yes,
so-called enlightenment.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's no difference between us and, you know, what we perceive as being out there, as being something other. That duality falls away.
So the thing that we got a glimpse at during rapture is now something that we understand and kind of have knowledge of.
Yeah. At rapture it was, as you say, a glimpse, a kind of transitory, fleeting understanding.
Yeah. So,
but here we're reconciled with it. We're lined up with it. So it's not a disturbing, shocking truth that's over there anymore.
Full of emotion, full of. I don't know what to think about this or feel about this. Yeah.
We're not separate from that anymore.
So in this image, we've gone full magician territory.
Yeah.
And we have the representation of the Holy Guardian Angel. And we have the figure, I suppose, stepping into onto the hand as if in some ways being lifted up or is going to be moved, taken up from the desert, finally, that we've spent the last while in. But obviously, it's like, you know, it's the duality, but coming together, macrocosm, microcosm, all of these type of things. I really like this image. I have to say, I was very happy that we got to do this. It's very it's very us. I think it's a good representation.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I like the fact that, you know, what we've done there basically is to line up the knowledge and communication of the Holy Guardian Angel from Western magic with the experience of awakening, liberation, enlightenment in Buddhism.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in my experience at least, that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're synonymous.
So, taking it a bit down more to mundane terms, what would this mean if it came up in a reading? What would this represent?
Well, I think there's maybe things here about what Jung called the transcendent function. So, a lot of the problems that we face in life, Jung said, you know, they're problems because they're insoluble. They don't have a solution.
Right, yeah.
You know, if there was a solution, we probably would have worked it out.
Yeah.
And I think this applies to a lot of the things that trouble us. You know, things to do with relationships, things to do with where our life is going. You know, most of these are insoluble. So Jung's idea of the transcendent function is we outgrow the problem. You know, we transform or we change in a way that makes that problem redundant.
Okay, so the problem just isn't solved, it's just no longer an issue.
Yeah. So
but it hasn't gone away, it's still a problem, it's just not for you. It doesn't affect you.
It's no longer your problem, perhaps. So with the insight card, there was a sense in that one of a radical breakthrough, you know, something hadn't been seen before. So, you know, liberation can have a similar sort of sense, but it's more about transcending the problem, you know, rather than seeing the thing that fixes it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, you know, sorting something out for once and for all. that's it. It's done. It's sorted. It's never going to bother you again.
Yeah.
You know, you're set free from it.
I'm trying to think of an example of it, but it's just it's not coming to. I suppose in a way it's like one way is that if you were always had a problem in a certain relationship or whatever, and a certain type of thing, and then you came to the point that you go, well, I don't have to do, I don't have to be involved in this anymore, and so you kind of leave the relationship. That person is still exactly the same person. The problem is exactly the same thing. It's just you're no longer involved in it. You're not trapped by it. You're not trying to change it. You're not trying to solve it. I mean, you're just. But it's not equally. It's the transcend or the liberation of it isn't just the walking away. Like it's not just because that's avoiding it in some ways. It's just all right. What am I doing? I don't need to do any of this.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe you need to become a different person in order to walk away.
Yeah.
In which sense that would be a kind of transcending of the problem. It's not your problem anymore. You're somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think in this image as well, there's. With the angel, there's the idea of something turning up, something arising. So in Buddhism, associated with this idea of awakening or enlightenment, there's the idea that we sit down on the cushion and we do something. We do the thing, and then the thing happens.
The thing happens, yeah.
Yeah. But I think, one of the things that Western esotericism brings to that is something more theistic, maybe. In this image, there's more of an idea of, the universe turning up for us. Something kind, something compassionate, opening that way, helping us, enabling us to step up, as is literally happening in that card.
Yeah. To kind of claim your divinity.
Yeah.
So then, reversed, what would we have?
Yeah. Well, near enemies as usual. Maybe forms of false liberation.
Right, yeah.
Something a bit more perverse than what's suggested on the surface of this card, playing into the hands of something.
Okay.
That seems like a good idea.
Like giving over your authority or whatever to a guru figure or something like that who is going to save you, or a messiah figure or something like that. Yeah, like a false liberator.
Yeah. Which is actually the opposite, isn't it? It's enslavement or bondage. Also things maybe about selfishness, about a subtle persistence of self-interest that's getting in the way from finally being able to transcend a problem.
There'll be something in it that is like kind of the wrong understanding or the wrong application of the statement "do as thou wilt," meaning thinking it means do what you want, rather it means doing your thing. So it's like this kind of focus on, I suppose, what I want rather than actually transcending. It's kind of it's what way have you written? Pursuing individual freedom rather than freedom from individualism. So there's that kind of
I think that's a really good one. Yeah, the idea that freedom is just the ability to do what you want.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you'd be subject to your desires, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and you're not actually seeing the world as it is because you don't get to do what you want. That's not what it is. Yeah. So within a reading, it would be saying you're seeing, I suppose, it too much from your own point of view. You're not actually seeing what it is. You're still trying to fix the problem. You're still trying to, project on it or get it the way you want rather than transcending it. There's no transcending. You're still dealing with the problem.
Yeah.
So, after liberation, we have wisdom.